Hello. Okay, so today I wanted to do a short video on Pluto transiting the 0 degree of Aquarius. Pluto left Capricorn on November 19th and now is crossing the 0 degree of Aquarius. This is a critical degree, and to some astrologers it is known as the anaretic degrees. It is the area between two signs that spans past the 29th degree and just before the 1st degree. So this is the true cusp. Pluto is crossing this region until December 29th, which is a timeline of approximately 6 weeks. The word anaretic comes from a Greek astrology term, anareta, meaning to take away or to destroy, and it has associations with the 8th house. Planets occupying or operating the 8th house were referred to as anaretic planets, and the 8th house is an environment of shocking changes, as well as death and transformation. It is a place where we are immersed in new karmic awareness. So when a planet ingresses through this region, the lore is that the planet experiences a symbolic death into rebirth. This is where planets cross over and undergo an afterlife procession before new manifestation. Outer planets, such as Pluto, naturally experience this transit for a longer period of time due to their slower movement. This creates a longer experience of this land in limbo. In the final degrees of a sign, it is the culmination, the wrapping up of unfinished business, and the apprehension of letting go into uncertainty. In contrast, in the initial degrees of a sign, there is more of a spiritual gestation that happens, which is where Pluto is now and is what I'm calling the 0 degree. The final degrees are more of the life flashing before the eyes, and the 0 degree is more of an experience of the underworld where we manifest a new body. This is where we die and touch deeply into the realm of spirit, experiencing a tulitary passageway through a realm that fuses our old karmic identity into a new one. We have crossed over into a realm where identity is now in flux and reviews the past life so that we may realign the energy into a new light body. It is here that spirit gives us the spark of new consciousness to go forward into a new form. In this 0 degree, this new life essence coalesces in the planet, changing its etheric emissions and altering the physical landscape of our reality. This happens as well on a subconscious level in your personal aura. Pluto is a chthonic deity and has associations with death and the underworld. So when Pluto goes through this tulitary passageway or the 0 degree, there may actually be a feeling of returning to oneself in an honest way and being able to see how we've been playing a karmic character, especially for the past 16 years. Borrowing from physics concepts, 0 energy is the lowest possible energy that a quantum system can have, or the background hum of the quantum world. In this state of 0 energy, reality exists as almost a limitless potentiality and births virtual particles, which may be thought of as subconscious mediations of new energy. So as Pluto transits this area, we are experiencing the lowest energetic state of the sign of Aquarius, which is not to say that it is emotionally low, but the energy is indeterminate as an attractive force begins to form its initializing momentum. There is a sense of returning to wholeness while simultaneously feeling restless to begin to define oneself. Now is the time to review the themes of whichever house Pluto had just transited in Capricorn for you. You can view your chart also from the perspective of the moon by shifting your chart to have the moon sign as the 1st house and seeing where Pluto transited from your moon. You can also do this with the sun by taking where the sun is and placing that as the 1st house and counting which house Pluto is away from that point. So from Aries, Pluto would have been transiting the 10th house, from Taurus the 9th house, Gemini, the 8th house, Cancer, the 7th, Leo, 6th, Virgo, 5th house, Libra, 4th, Scorpio, 3rd, Sagittarius, 2nd, Capricorn, 1st, Aquarius, 12th, and Pisces, the 11th. So wherever your rising sign, sun, or moon is, you can then reference that list to see which house Pluto was transiting for you. For example, in my chart, I had a Pluto transit of the 8th house from the ascendant, the 7th house from the moon, and the 12th house from my sun, creating a very ominous, spiritual, and underworld-like experience of Pluto's 16-year transit through Capricorn. At this time, you may be feeling energized and renewed in some capacity, but you may also find yourself being pulled into introspective states. And I would recommend that you just let that introspective state happen. Better yet, you may even want to go into a meditation practice and do deep breathing, because it is in the meditative state with the breathing that can help to dislodge any further karmic residue. Sit with yourself and really allow this 6-week gestation period to shape your new form for the transit of Pluto into Aquarius. Active programming and affirmation is useful at this time if you can keep it undefined and more centered in the feelings that you want to experience going forward. In 2026, we will actually have all of the outer planets cross this cusp region, or this 0 point degree, which means that all of the outer planets are sequentially going through a death. When the inner planets go through this, it is more subtle and it's not as much felt because they are more directly tied to the Maya, or the illusion of the world, whereas the outer planets, they have the perspective that is beyond the Maya. The outer planets, since they traverse this area for a longer period of time, they experience getting in touch with that spirit realm in a more intimate way. I will be creating follow-up videos for these dates in the new year, but I wanted to make this video for Pluto because everyone that I'm speaking to right now is definitely feeling like they're in a state of limbo, and they keep trying to pinpoint the feeling, but really what everyone should do who is paying attention to this kind of thing, they should just slow down and kind of allow themselves to go through a death, which is also a mourning of the life that has been. I know that for me, because this 8th house transit was so significant, it really feels like I will be losing like a guide and a protective angel. However, I know that it will just transform into a new identity as well. Let me know what you think of the critical degrees, or the 29th degree into the 0 point degree, and tell me if you have any planets sitting at this place in your chart, because I would love to know your experience of them. I personally have my ascendant at the very 0 degree between Gemini and Cancer, and I often describe it as standing directly between two doorways, or existing at the midpoint of an estuary where fresh water and salt water meet. It seems to constantly fluctuate in the mind between the two states. I'd also love to hear how you're doing at this time, and if you're experiencing this underworld passage with Pluto. Let me know in the comments below. As if waking from a dream, we are shaking off past actions and wondering how we had defined our life for so long through that programming. It is advised not to make major decisions during this time until Pluto reaches the 1st degree of Aquarius. This concludes some of my thoughts on this Pluto transit through the 0 point degree. I'd like to take a moment to thank you for watching, and let me know if there's any astrological questions that you have as well. Thanks again for sharing your time with me. Thank you. Bye.